The Republican Party suffered a string of humiliating defeats in Tuesday's elections, elections that took place a lot in either swing states or completely red states, where Republicans lost big time on everything from state assembly makeup to initiatives on the ballot. One of those, of course, was Ohio's ballot initiative that basically enshrined abortion rights into the state's constitution. And following these defeats that they suffered in Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, and elsewhere, Republicans were, of course, immediately looking at who to point the fingers at. And the finger apparently landed on Donald Trump, of all people. And to be honest, I'm kind of shocked that the Republican Party was actually willing to admit that, yes, this guy is the problem. One of the people who admitted this was none other than conservative talker and writer Erik Erickson. Writing on Twitter, Erik Erickson had this to say about Donald Trump's culpability for what happened on Tuesday. Quote, "The GOP is no longer a national party. It is a collection of disparate regional parties. In some areas, the party wins by being tied to Trump. In some areas, it loses by being tied to Trump. What wins in pro-Trump areas and what wins in anti-Trump areas are incompatible, which means the party's coalition is unstable and unworkable nationally. Nothing is going to get fixed with the GOP because Trump supporters won't accept how radicalizing Trump is to a lot of non-Trump voters, and also because in some places Trump helps the GOP turnout. There's an inability to distinguish where he helps and where he hurts the party." And I have to say, that's probably one of the most intelligent things I've ever seen regarding Trump's impact on the party coming from somebody on the right. Because it's true. And when you think about it, you look at certain places around the country, obviously you have Republican areas, but Trump's presence actually hurts them. Other areas, even in conservative areas or swing areas, Trump's presence can help the party. But overall, he appears to be doing more damage than he is helping. And that's the thing that Republicans have to come to terms with. But they're not going to do it because I'm going to make an argument here that it's not necessarily Trump that's to blame for all of this. It's Ronna McDaniel. What has the Republican Party accomplished since Ronna McDaniel became the chairwoman of the Republican Party? The answer is literally nothing. Literally nothing. Yeah, they won last year's midterm elections. They got a 10-seat advantage. They were predicting a 70-seat advantage, folks. Republicans thought they were going to have a 70-seat advantage after next year's midterms. They got a 10-seat advantage. So that is the only victory that Ronna McDaniel has on her resume, right? Because she became the chairwoman of the Republican Party after the 2016 election. So they lost in 2018. They lost in 2020. They barely won in 2022. They've gotten their butts kicked in special elections that have happened, across the country throughout the months. They got their butts handed to them yesterday. Yes, Donald Trump plays a big role in that. But at the end of the day, Ronna McDaniel's really the one y'all ought to be pointing the fingers at. Look, I love to blame Trump for lots of things, the things he's responsible for. But really, if you're going to do an honest look at your party, you have to look at the person that is literally running it. And that's not Donald Trump. He's the figurehead, sure. He is the guy in charge, but he's not actually running it. That person is Ronna McDaniel, and she has proven to the Republican Party for years and years now that she just straight up sucks at her job. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.